Alright, and just like that, we're learning something. The Shipshewana Area Historical Museum, favorite school museum, is open Tuesday and Wednesday from 1 to 3. So, guess what? It's only 11:22. What time is it?
11:30.
11:30? Okay, so I guess we're going to go walk around first. Because the museum is not open. Okay. This is across the street Bank of Shipshewana, 1904. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like all the murals. Look at the horse. He's like, I'm patiently waiting. He's like, there's another horse in the other stall. I don't like him. Or I want to go talk to him. I'm tied up. Hi, Joe. Okay, so welcome to Shipshewana. Flea market, auctions, downtown shops, Blue Gate Theater, parking, Davis Mercantile, soda fountain, lunch counter. That's like a little restaurant, looks like. Look at the mural. We gotta get a picture of the mural. I know it doesn't look. Okay. That's. I'll get it to it. Family Time Variety Store. This is like a thrift store. See, you're not even paying. That's a yarn. Oh, it's a yarn store.
Okay.
That's a yarn store.
Yeah, fabrics.
Fabrics.
Okay.
Okay. But it doesn't give you that impression. Family Time Variety Store. Books, fabrics, and notions. Oh, okay. Well, right on that window it does. Lollies. I don't know what lollies is. It says lollies on the door. That across the street is the Wolf Grain Company. So yeah, so that's the Wolf Grain Company. I'll get a picture of the mural once the car drives by. Yeah. So now we're gonna do a little tour of the city, and Troy is gonna be the chauffeur. Cause I'm already worn out. I'm already worn out. Shipshewana Town Park, Pumpkin Nature Trail. Let's just drive around it first. See how big it is. Look at the horses. I might have to walk up to the horses. Maybe as far as I can get, it's up to the horses. And it looks like it might be going to be raining soon. They said it's going to be raining like in 12 minutes, but I don't know. I don't want to push my luck. See, they have the field for all the games. See? Wow, this is cool. This is the dried banana leaf prints. Wow. This is an African shop. Feel that. Feel it to see, feel about the banana.
It does. It's the outer skin.
You're not even feeling it. Built in 1962. Here comes a whole bunch of people. So yeah, we're in the Historical Society, we're in the museum, so.
Go on in there. See if it's safe.
You belong to the Historical Society in Jackson?
No.
No.
So Karen, I'm so sorry to hear about Bob.
So they have a lot of stuff for you to read, but here's just to show you some of the stuff.
Church chain. Carrie just put it
I have a lot of old stuff, but a lot of it that you have to read. So, and I'll find something interesting and tell you.
Is it Shipshewana? Yeah, he said yes.
I sure haven't heard about Shipshewana.
He did. Well, he wanted
I've
to
heard about it, but I've never seen it.
he wanted to learn more about the gases, so I got that one. And his wife Sarah. They lived out east of town out there, and they had this house. Well, they had a fire, and then they rebuilt it. But he had money when he was born and raised here, and the railroad wanted to come through. The town was not here.
Okay.
It was just woods and a swamp.
What year was that?
Oh, night.
Back in the 1800s or something?
No. Hezekiah Davis. It would have been about. Well, he died.
No.
1891.
So in the 1800s.
Yeah, but it was, he, anyway, had $10,000 to bring the train through town. And so they brought it through town, and then the town was south of here. So the people moved up here since the train could move goods. So, he built, my uncle, great uncle, Jonathan Farber, he had him build these buildings. Now see, that's buildings that went on the corner over there. It has an extra floor. See, they had a fire, and that burned off many years ago. But they had fires back and forth, and then the Sunnies owned the land on the other side of 300 acres, and the Davises owned 600 acres on this side, see? So they were feuding back and forth. Where was going to be the main street? Was it going to be out there on 5, or was it going to be in this way? Well, the Davises won because the Sunnies place, their big building like that over there where that gas station's at, burned twice, and they accused each other of setting the fires. Nobody could prove either way. Well, Davises had a son named Eugene, and the Sunnies had a girl named Alice. They fell in love and got married, and so then the feuding all stopped. There was no more fires, there was no more feuding. So she, Sarah, his wife, is the one that named the town Shipshewana, because of Chief Shipshewana was here down at the lake, the tribe. And they moved them out in, what year was that? Right here. The Trail of Death. 1838. They took them by the trail to Kansas. Promised them land out there, and they got there, there was nothing. There was nothing there.
Oh my goodness.
So they put Chief Shipshewana in one of these cages so the followers would follow him. Mm-hmm. And so this train started up here in Mongo, and came down through Indiana, ended up down Plymouth and Rochester, and went on straight to Kansas. Well, anyway, Chief Shipshewana became homesick. He wanted to come back. So they let him 2 years later come back, and he came back with a couple of his followers. And he died a couple years later, and he's buried down at the lake, Shipshewana Lake. Nobody knows where he's buried. They looked for years, but then they couldn't find anything. But last year, it so happened, we had meetings every month. And the one in September we had was on about the Indians. Well, anyway, long and behold, showed up at the meeting. Here is Chief Shipshewana's descendant from California. He came to the meeting, and they were reenacting that trail of death and tears. And every 5 years they said they did that. He just retired. So that way he was able to take and be in that. He wanted to go in it. So he was here at the meeting. He said he was 7 years old when his father died, so he didn't get a whole lot of information from his father. But his wife, she did a lot of research and she found things, and they gave a nice little talk too about
Nice.
Yeah, my brother.
But yeah.
Wow.
So down the lake there is a monument in his
Leading around by my
Chief
hand.
Shipshewana. Down.
Is it still down there?
Oh yeah. Just drive down there. As you go down the hill, you can see it sitting there. It's a big. It's a glacier rock, and the other. That's half of it. The other half's out to LaGrange Courthouse, and this came from up by Brighton. And my grandfather helped move that in 1932. I'm going to say it was something like that. So, by wagon. My grandfather moved buildings, and he was a mason. And he put things. Remember, barns in those days had just corner rocks, and they set the barns up high. There's always well, anyway, he was putting foundations in under barns. But that's part of it. They had a ceremony. I wasn't born yet, so I.
Where was the? No. How do you get to the lake from here?
You go up there by the Blue Gate restaurant. If that go west. Down there, let's see, 900, there's a church on the corner. It'd be about a mile out of town. There's a church on the corner, it's Baptist. You make a right, and you go, just go a little ways. You'll go.
Is there a name of the lake? Is there?
Shipshewana Lake.
Shipshewana Lake. Okay, so we can probably look it up on Google Maps.
Oh, yeah. They'll take you probably to Beatty's Beach, which is around on the other side where
Oh.
I live, but that don't make any difference. But it just, as you go just down the hill, there's a Nazarene church here, you just go drive down the hill, it's right there on
Your little
a mountain.
grapes, all their fruit.
Nice. You got that? And you remember that? Did you hear it good?
Yeah, and on your way, you'll see that round barn.
See the brown barn?
Round.
Oh, round.
This all cement, round barn is on the way out of town out there. Brown Swiss Dairy.
Okay.
And that Tanner Maslin, he was my student, and he lived across the road. He did a little thing on it for my class. But yeah, it's there. An Amishman owns it now, a young kid. And so it's a nice thing about the round barn.
Oh, so that's by the lake.
It's not to the lake, yeah, just on the main road out
Main
there.
road, yeah.
That's called Brown Swiss Dairy was. Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, we're going to try and find that.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Well, thank you.
Outside the road.
Oh, thank you.
And then the house is all cement too. See, then they had fire, they're afraid. And in that house, I always remember, they had a dumb waiter, that has the pulleys, and she put her canned goods on to put them down in the basement and bring them back up in the kitchen. You didn't have to carry them up and down steps. It's called on a rope thing. Dumb
Yeah.
waiter. Yeah, that's very unusual for that house.
Nice. Well, thank you for giving me all that information.
Yeah, that monument's on 900.
Okay, so I see the Brown Swiss Dairy Realm Barn.
Just keep going west.
Keep going west.
Just
Okay,
there'll be a church on the corner.
okay. It looks like that's the church there, Crossroads Baptist Church.
Yep, that's
So
it.
900 west.
Turn on 900.
Okay, let's see where that goes.
Right there's your monument. As you get well, come on. Where's the Nazarene Church? Here it says right there, Chief Shipshewana Memorial.
Oh, okay, you got that there, okay. Oh, is there parking right here? You have to park
Park on the
at.
side of the road.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
just park.
it's not a busy.
All right. So now we're headed to the lake where the monument is for the chief Shipshewana. And we saw the dairy barn that was at Octagon type of barn. Maybe I can get a picture of it or something later, or videotape it. But there's the church she was talking about, Church of the Nazarene. Why is he going that way? That's a neighborhood. Why is he going this way? The lake's right there. What is he doing? Alright, I'm going to videotape when we get to the lake. This is as far as I know. What is he doing? Okay, so now we stopped at the Das Dutchman as in Haas buffet restaurant. There's one of my last plates. I've only been drinking water. I have had a lot of food. I've had a lot of food already. And I do have my custard pie, so yeah. I'm gonna have to get a piece of custard pie to go. Now I have to think about what I want for dessert, but I do have my custard pie. What'd you get?
Something off the dessert bar to start with before I get my cake.
What is it?
This was, I think that's ice cream. This was chocolate dream.
Oh.
Not sure. No, it's more of a whip, not ice cream. I'm gonna go get a piece of cake.
Okay. Alright, we're on our way home, and I have to guess at my gas. So, because my gas gauge does not work at all, it does not work. I can't. Does not work. It's reflecting off. Right there, does not work. So, the next big gas station I get to, I've got to go get some gas. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with this video for here. And as you can see, Tina's the outsider. Always needs gas. Yeah, I always need gas. So I'm going to... Tina's the outsider is out. Signing out. See you later in the next video. Have a good day. Let's go.